uh, uh, I would start by saying that when I first met Graeme, the first thing I learned about him was that I would not learn from him about his remarkable accomplishments. For instance, that he founded the Center for Peace Studies at McMaster University. I have zero recollection that he told me that. Of course, the functioning of my memory, or should I say low functioning memory, is a factor here. But I think that those with superior memories who knew him will tell you how deep was his humility. Even when Graeme spoke about experiences he had overseas promoting peace, he never approached blowing his own horn. So I don't know when or how I learned that he became a Buddhist, but we did have in common that we were both sons of the manse, in both cases a United Church of Canada manse, and we both grew up in the Maritimes. I'd become an atheist Christian humanist, so we had in common a non-theistic and questioning approach to everything. Now, we met because, and had in common that, we both understood the evidence was overwhelming that the official story of 9/11 was a big lie, and that this was very important. Some of the deepest and most lasting friendships I've been blessed with are based on that common recognition. And I was able to tell Graeme that in an email on March 16th. And I'll quote from that email, if I may. I wrote to Graeme, "This day reminds me again of the odd, unintended byproduct of the massive deception of 9/11, the finding of fellow spirits such as yourself, and those you thank in your acknowledgments, and others who remain close friends and associates still 22 years later." Now, about the reference to this day. An hour before I wrote that email, I'd received a link Graeme sent me and 3 others with an attachment. And the attachment was the Pentagon B movie, a brilliant analysis that Graeme and Ted Walter of New York had produced. They found 169 video clips of news coverage from the day of 9/11, in which journalists and others reported the demolition explosions in the Twin Towers. But the clips then showed that that reportage was replaced within hours by carefully planned and executed propaganda by official and other mouthpieces. So I'd read the Pentagon B movie right away as soon as he sent it. And I wrote Graeme, quote, "It was not too soon to declare that the Pentagon B movie is a tour de force, a profoundly important work that's compelling, highly informative, and inspirational to those of us tilling the same ground, trying to expose what's beneath the surface of the US empire and its deranged brainchild 9/11. Yeah, quote unquote. He and I also had in common that we organized public inquiries into the truths, I should say, about 9/11, and we both authored books on this. And his book in 2014, the 2001 Anthrax Deception, Case for Domestic Conspiracy, is a model of superior research and writing. And that also applies to his 2016 book, The October 22, 2014 Ottawa Shootings, Why Canadians Need a Public Inquiry. But I'm not sure how many people know about his 2022 book, Journey to the City of Six Gates. As soon as I found out about it, I bought it. And trite as it is to say, I could not put it down and read it in one evening. It has earned 5 stars out of 6 on Goodreads, where the summary of it includes this: its heroes, their 14-year-old princess and a 12-year-old brother, must discover how to deal with injustice without descending to the level of their violent persecutors. Through contemplative, poetic incantation and robust, uncluttered prose, it weaves into its fabric issues such as the status of women and care for the forests." Unquote. Graeme set the story in ancient India long before the region acquired that name. And I want to say, Graeme was literally a gentle man. Even when he said he was angry about the lies of 9/11, he did not shout it. All the more, you knew it was true. I don't recall, again, my memory is an issue here, that he ever expressed anger at a person or persons he would name. He was not a complainer. His spirituality was deep and profound. When I last saw him at a meeting late last year at a friend's home, along with 5 other friends, he went on longer than usual on the question of some kind of afterlife. Befitting his intelligence, his philosophy, and his Buddhism, he treated the question as a highly complex one challenging our deepest understandings. And I don't mind saying I was spellbound by what he was saying, and thinking as he spoke how deeply respectful I was of him. He had stage 4 cancer of the prostate. He was not fooling himself about his mortality. He was exploring it as deeply as he explored everything.